Welcome to Tom's Timber Tales, where we'll dam up myths, chew through the rumors, and flood you with facts. Whether you're a rookie builder or seasoned Timberborn pro, if you've ever wondered what's true and what's just tall timber tales about Timberborn, you're in the right place. We're here to debunk, demystify, and deliver the truth about our favorite beavers and their bustling cities. Sharpen your teeth, settle into your lodge or barracks, and let's break down the barriers of Beaver City mythos, one claim at a time. Our first myth is that poo water, sorry about any images that might have popped into your head, is stronger than regular tides. As you can see, the total power for this water wheel is right around 400 horsepower during a bad tide, but it stays right there as the clean water washes over it. After switching over to the Iron Teeth faction, we see that the only differences are looks and how much power is generated. The second myth is that you should separate your water wheels with one levee each to get max power. As you can see here, each of these water wheel groups are producing 400 power, even though each group is different from the rest. Even a single water wheel is producing 400 power, no matter which position they're in. The same principle applies to Iron Teeth's compact and large water wheels. The third myth is that water should flow in one direction to get max power. In this setup, we have 10 water units. If we did the normal row of levees and a water wheel, then we get a little over 670 horsepower. If we instead do these boomerang shapes and have the water go up and back and up again, then we get over 2,000 horsepower. If we have 23 water units, use a compression technique I talk about later, and are careful how we set this up, then we can almost double our power with the same 3 water wheels. Note that the final wheel has 135 more horsepower, since 2.2 water units escape through the power shaft and are caught by the final wheel. As you can see by adding up these current measurements on these stream gauges. Of course, you can replace these stream gauges with water wheels to get even more power, as water wheels do not affect water height. If we have 1.5 less water units, then we can add 2 more water wheels, and obviously our power increases by almost 2,000 more horsepower, and have the same water bypass problem as before. We can't handle the full 23 water units since we've constricted the water to flow through a 2-meter wide shaft, and that makes its height requirement grow faster. Here are the results of the same setups for Iron Teeth's large power wheels. Note that there is less of a difference between the first and last wheel for all setups since less water flows through the high power shafts. Bonus myth that will probably be fixed at some point. Your water wheels only need the tips of their blades to touch the water to get full power. Here we have 23 units of water and get more power than before, since the water has no alternate paths to bypass any water wheels. Apparently in version 0.69 of Timberborn, water only flows in the topmost centimeter of water. This technique also works for Folktales wheels, but those need support under all 6 squares. The final myth we're debunking is Skystorm's water compression technique, where he claims he can compress 10 water units, as you can see these sum to 10, for both of these, into a 1-meter wide channel without overflow using this high hill and long shaft. You can see how this works a bit better after I turn off the water. However, a closer look reveals that Skystorm never said his method only works for short channels. He also conceals how the compression lasts less than 70 meters until 14 minutes into his video. Anyway, to test this myth, I cut the narrowest and straightest channels possible from the compressor outputs to the end of a custom 126 meter map. I also start right as the drought ends. As a result, neither method meets his goal of compressing down to 2 square meters, but both methods peak below 2.4 meters and get down to 2.22 meters after they reach steady state. As you can see, if we ended the video here, we would not have exceeded 2 meters in height. We've peaked in water height for both methods now. His is still getting down to steady state, while mine is almost there. Both methods have now reached steady state. I'll now show you what happens if you reset the water simulation so there isn't a gradual ramp up of water volume. Credit where it's due. When you reset the water simulation and let it run to steady state, Skystorm's method has a max depth of 3.48 meters, whereas mine gets up to 4.05 meters. I will let you decide which method is best, since Skystorm's way has the lower max depth and could require less work, whereas mine might be easier while still achieving the main objective. In case you want to make it yourself, here's a closer look at the version that supports 11 cubic meters of water. As you can see, you just need to carve out or otherwise form this plus shape, with 3 of the lines being partially filled in. If the water source is a nice ramp from 2 to 3 like shown, then the max water depth for the test setup is 2.7 meters, while the steady state is 2.46 meters. If we reset the simulation so we get 11 cubic meters of water immediately, then the max depth increases to 4.45 with a steady state at 2.48. I also made a version that supports almost 20 cubic meters of water. The only difference is that we extend the cliff 2 more meters, which allows the water to flow into the stream along more of the shaft. This new version has a max downstream depth of 4.69 meters with a steady state of 4.42 meters. I'll now show you what happens if you reset the water simulation . This final version supports up to 32 cubic meters of water. You just need to add these platforms covered in impermeable floors to the prior one. You probably could also extend the overflow cliff like we did to get to 19.8 cubic meters, but we're trying to do this in as small of an area as possible. This most OP version has a max downstream depth of 7.54 meters with a steady state of 7.13 meters. Since I don't expect it to be used, someone else can figure out what its max depths are after resetting the water simulation. That's it for this episode of Tom's Timber Tales. We've chopped down falsehoods and mastered your energy and resource dynamics, but the Timberborn journey doesn't end here. If you had fun diving into this post-apocalyptic beaver world, gnaw that like button and lodge yourself in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe because next time we're jumping straight into Timberborn gameplay. See you in the forest!